Hi all, welcome to Guide Coaching Classes. My name is Moazzam Ali and today we are going to discuss about the previous topic which we have learned into our previous tutorial, that is the operators any, all, in. Then we will be discussing about the multiple column query. So what is any, all, and in operator? So they are basically multiple column expressions. Whenever we have multiple more than one records or more than one results, at that time we use these operators. Any and all are similar in nature. They give true results and true and false results on the basis of the condition. So whenever we have multiple conditions and any of that particular condition is true, at the time any operator will returns true to the outer query. We have two queries. The first is outer query and the second is inner query. We generally write any keyword with inner query, and on the basis of the condition, either it is true or false, it returns the outer query as a true or false. Then we have the we have the all condition. So all operator will be taking all the conditions, all the conditions, and if all the conditions are true, only on the basis of that it returns true to the outer query. Now see here, there is a difference between any and or, and there is a similarity between any and or. So any is similar to or, and all function is similar to and into the booleans, or into the what we call as a where we have or. For or conditions, if we have two false, or one true and one false, only then it will returns as true, or else it will returns as a false. But in all condition, in and condition, in logic gates, whenever two true results are there, only then the result is given as true. Same happens with all. When all the true results are there, all the conditions are successfully passed, only then it returns true to the outer query. And then the in is very simple. It can be used with it has the it's a shortcut to the conditions or conditions, where we can use between or we can use in, but in between we have range, and in we can give the numbers which we are dealing with. Then one more point about the all operator is it can be used with select, where, and having clause. We can use it with them. Okay, so now moving ahead to the our today's topic, that is what is correlated query. So before going forward, what is correlated query? First understand what is nested query. So nested query is nothing but which we are seeing from previous two tutorials. The first one is the outer query, and there is the inner query into the parenthesis. So the parenthesis query is called as the inner query, and the outer query is nothing but the outside the parenthesis. Okay, so now here what happens is basically the inner query executes once, and the result is given to the outer query, and then it process that particular result, and then it gives a final result, that is the second result on the basis of that particular result. So that is how the nested query works. But in correlated query, what happens is it is more versatile and more dynamic in nature. It is executed, the inner query is executed multiple times on the basis of the records or the basis of the rows present into that particular column. Okay, so that is the key difference between them. And then the parent statement can be select, update, delete, any statement. It could be any statement. Then we can also use any and all operator in correlated queries. Okay, we can use any and all operator with this. Then the syntax of the correlated query is very simple. We have learnt about the self join. So here we need to have a self join about the conditions. So how it is done, we will see. So we have a basic simple query, that is select star from table name and as alias. So we need to give some alias for that particular table. Then we will write where n minus 1. Now this n minus 1 is a formula for this correlated query, where it creates the dynamic nature of it. and we will be counting this for n number of rows. So here n is number of rows which are there into the table. So if we are for the particular result, so if we are trying to find the highest marks of any student into a particular class, class table, we have highest marks, we have the marks, we have the number, we have roll number, we have name of that particular student. So at that time we will be using this query to identify the highest, who has scored the highest marks into the class. Or else we can use it vice versa, we can use it for the finding out the who got the least marks into that particular class. So we can use, this is how we write. Then we will write one more condition where table alias 2 dot column name greater than table alias 2 dot column name. So this is nothing but the second alias which is going to be used. Then we are using the column name with greater than or less than sign. That is how we are going to use it. Okay. Then we will be taking the real time example. We will be taking about the find the highest salary, second highest salary from the employee table. So let's jump onto the practical window first, and then we'll be discussing about it. So here if you can see, I have a employee table, select star from employee. So if I execute it, I get this result. So I have total 8 records over here. The first record is 25,000 salary, 55,000, 40,000, 44, 40,000, and 55 and 60. So I want to arrange it into the ascending order. So what I will do, I can write is order by salary ASC, or else I, by default it takes the ascending order. So I will just write order by, and then I, once I execute this 25, after 25,000 it will be 40 40 and then 55 55. That is how it will be arranged. So if you see here, 25,000, 40,000, 40 40, 55 55 55 and 60,000. That is how the, if you want to sort any particular column, you can sort it on the basis of that. And if you see here, the whole row is sorted, not just that particular column is sorted. So that is the way of sorting any particular column. Okay, fine. Now I got this. Now I am aware like who has the maximum salary and who has the minimum salary. But now if I want it to make a nested query for this, how I can do, because it's a dynamic data, it's a live data. We cannot just hard code it with the salary with 25,000 as a minimum and 65,000. Tomorrow there could be a scenario where another employee is added whose salary is 1 lakh. So now my maximum salary is changed. So I want my query to be dynamic. So for that reason I cannot do a hard coding for that. So what I will do, I will write this query: select max salary as a maximum salary from employee table. So if I execute this, I will be getting the maximum salary from the table. So see here, I got the 65 as a maximum salary because 65 is my maximum salary for as of now. Now if you see I want to have the first highest salary. So now what I will do, I want to get the name of that candidate who's who's having the maximum salary. I want to get his employee ID and basically the salary detail, what salary he is getting. So what I will write this query: select employee ID, first name, salary from employee table. Okay, then I have written where salary is, where this this same condition, same query I have written here, where salary is equals to select max salary from employee. So now here this will give me a result of this one, 65,000. Now this 65,000 is here. Now it becomes select all this information from employee table where salary is equals to 65,000. So whose salary is 65,000, give me the result. So now if I execute this, I will be getting 108 Vikas and 65,000. So this is my outer query and this is my inner query. Guys, please understand this concept because it's very easy, but it's a little bit tricky. So whenever we are discussing about the outer query is the first query which is written, and the inner query is nothing but the query which is written into the parenthesis, and inner query executes and then it gives the result, and then outer query takes that input as a that output as a input and then executes the final execution. Now if I am asked to get the highest, second highest salary, so this is my highest salary. So now I will execute this again to make you guys aware about the what is the second highest salary. So this is nothing but the second highest salary. So this is 60,000. This is 1074. Ankur Akutkar has the 60,000 as the second highest. This is the highest. If I do it DESC, descending order, you will be able to see this. So now this is my first highest salary, that is 65,000. Vikas Dubey was the candidate who was getting the maximum salary. Vikas Dubey was the candidate. Then I want to have the salary which is second highest, that is after 65 there is a 60,000 salary. So what I will do, I will write in a static, in a nested query, I will write select these information from employee table, where salary is equals to select maximum salary from employee. Select maximum salary from employee, then where salary is less than max salary from employee. So what is happening, first I will find the maximum salary, then I will find the less than salary, the second maximum salary from that particular table. Then I will compare them and then I will finally put the result to this query. So if I execute this, I will be select star from employee. I will be getting 65,000, and so now this will print me a 65,000. But if I consider that 65 here, if I keep it 65 here as a less than salary, so I will create this scenario again. I will copy this and I will paste it over here, and I will write less than 65,000. Now if I execute this, this is my inner queries expression, this is my outer query. So now it will give me 60,000 as a result. I need to close the bracket. Okay, I forgot to close the bracket. Now if I execute this, it will give me 60,000 as a result. So that is how I need to write two queries for second highest. Now if I want to find out third highest, why I am creating this type of scenario, I just want to make a point to create a how the correlated query works. So now if I am going to if somebody asks me to get the third highest salary, I need to write it thrice, where clause, where first maximum salary, then less than that maximum salary, then less than max that salary, and then I will be getting the third highest. If somebody asks me to get the if let's suppose it has only 8 records for now, but if somebody asks me to find the hundredth salary, hundredth no salary, which is the least or the fifth, the third highest, fifth highest, sixth highest, seventh highest, ninth highest, tenth highest, or hundredth highest. At that time, what I will do? I will write this query 100 time or 101 time. No, I won't be doing that. So for that to to make it dynamic, the correlated query comes into the picture. So now we have seen the example of it. So now what here it will do, it will take n minus 1. So we are taking the highest salary, so n minus 1, that is, will show you n minus 1. So n minus 1 is, that is the zeroth row. So zero, sorry, first row, first highest salary. So the first 1 minus 1, that is zeroth row. So zeroth row is equals to, now see, this is nothing but a simple query. Okay, focus on this part. So now see here, where 0 is equals to select count salary. Now we write count salary and then closing bracket for that particular column from employee, that is the employee table, that is the same table. Now here we are writing where e2 dot salary is greater than e1 dot salary. Now we are considering E1 and E2 as a two different tables, where it is the same table, but one with one record and one with the rest of the records. So now that particular record is going to be matched with other columns or other rows of that particular second column. So that is the funda which we are using over here. We are making the query dynamic. So for when we execute this, we will be getting the highest salary, that is 65,000, the first highest salary. 65,000. We got the details of that particular candidate. Then if I want to execute, if I want to get the second highest salary at that time also, I don't need to do anything. I will just change the 0 to 1 and I will execute it. So I will be getting 60,000 as a second highest salary. If I want to go and I want to search for the third highest salary, I will go here and I will do it as 2, because it is n minus 1. So these are the three salaries which are equal to the third highest salaries. So that is how the correlated query works. It is very dynamic in nature and it is mostly asked into an interview. So please prepare it. What is the difference between nested query and correlated query? I have already explained that. You can pause a video or rewind the video and you can see that. Okay, now moving on to the structural view or the execution of that particular correlated query, how it is done. You can see onto the screen right here. We have two tables. The first one is orders table and the second one is agents table. So we have outer query as a with orders table and the inner query with agents details. So we are processing the agents detail with select b dot agent code from b agent sorry from agent, where we have created the alias as b, where b dot agent name is equals to Alex. Now it goes here to agents table, it search for the Alex, the name, and then once it is found, it takes the code, the agent code which we call, it takes the agent code and it keeps that particular result into this query, and then it is taken as a input for the outer query where agent code is equals to A003, and then it executes the outer query, and then it goes here, it checks the result of the query, then A003, it goes from orders table, agents table to orders table now, and then in orders table, here in orders table it finds the agent whose agent code is 003. So these two tables are A003. So now these two tables are located and they will be resulted as a output. Now we will be seeing the exist and not exist. So this is again a very important operator which is mostly used with correlated query. It also gives the result into the same format, that is true and false. Okay, so if it exists into that particular query, it gives as true, and if it does not exist, it gives as a false. So we can use not exist and exist. Okay, so we will see about the syntax. It returns true if the subquery returns the true. So the syntax is select column or multiple columns, then from table name we'll write the table name, then we write where exists, and then we will give the condition. So basically these operators and these functions we are seeing on the basis of the nested query. Now we are discussing about two queries in one execution. We will be executing two queries. So it will have a condition where exist and then a certain any query. It could be simple basic query where select star from table name where condition with where condition. So that is how it is done. Then we will go quickly and we will check on the examples. So here I have created the example. So first of all I will execute this. Here I have 8 records into the table, as you can see right here. Then what I have done is I have written this select star from employee, then where exists, now I have written certain condition over here, that DID from department D. Now I will also execute the department table so that you will be able to understand it very well. So I will write select star from department. Now if you execute this both, you will see that I have 3 records in department and 8 records in employee. 8 records in employee and only 3 records are in department. So now what I have done, select star from employee. All the records, all the columns from the employee table, select it. Then what I have written, where exists. What exists? Select DID, department ID from department, where D E.did is equals to D.did. Select only those records which has the DID and EID is equals to into the department, and who those who are matching into department and employee table, only select that those tables. So if you see DID is 1 2 3, so where is one? So one is here. So Rohit will be the record, first record, then Akhil. Rohit, Akhil and Atul will be my results. So if I execute this, Rohit, Akhil, Atul. Oh, Rohit, Akhil, Atul. Rohit, Akhil, Atul are my records. That is how the exist works. So these 3 records exist into department and employee table, hence they are printed. They exist into the department table. Now, if I use not exist, similarly, it will give me 5 records, which because only 5 records which are not exist into department table. So it will give me, if you see here, I have 3 records, and out of 8 records 3 are printed. So now only 5 are pending. So when I execute this, I will be getting 5 records. That's how the exist not non-exist works. Sorry, exist and not exist works, and then that is how the correlated query works. So I request you guys to practice this query, because this is very important query and it is asked into each and every interview with different variations and different question set, but the query remains same. So that's all for today, guys. If you have any questions or any doubts or any queries regarding the topic, you can pin me a comment, and then I will be helping you to understand the concept again. And we will be discussing into our next session. We will be discussing about the use case, that is also how to use, when to use case. Then we will be discussing about the insert into, select into, and operators. These 3 4 topics I will be covering into the coming session. For till now, for the time being, I need you to practice hard and learn these things thoroughly. Thanks